All right, so I'm back from working. I hit the job pack for a little bit. And I'm thinking about this and I think this is wrong. I don't think this should be static. I feel like these should be values of the object. So instead, all right, so it's making this class. What about the type info? Oh my God. Is there a way to do this without doubling the code? Okay. What about the colors? So I don't want that to be like this. Colors should be the type. Right? I feel like you should be able to do that. Why aren't you letting me scroll? Huh. So maybe I believe in this one better. All right, let's see what's happening here. So I define, I don't like this type up here, but maybe fuck it, right? You just gotta do type shit like that. Literal type shit. But I don't like how this is formatted. Oh, it is just like that? This doesn't have to be a internal function. This can actually be an external function. So let's define this as a function. And I don't like using. And to be perfectly H, To be absolutely perfectly H, this can also be a class with this and a constructor which does what? What does this motherfreaker do? Constructor which does this. It takes in a hue as a number and it does all this. Um, what do they call this shit when it's like so I have another one called class color strength strengths color strengths and it's gonna have a type light which is a string, a type medium is also a string, and a dark which is a string, and I'm gonna have a constructor which takes in a hue and it mother freaking this has to be a number and using this number um what's up with this number? I need to make the colors so here this dot list light this dot light equals I don't know why I'm not doing this. Don't try to correct me, bruh. And then this. I'm gonna add this shit all over. So that is how you build the color strengths. Health equals this dot, this dot, this is equal, this is equal, and I don't like, I just, oh, because I copied it. Okay, and then weak, these are actually all color strengths now. Weak, this dot weak equals new color strengths, Q minus 24. Ergo freaking docs, weak, medium, strong. This will be plus. Why don't you want to go back? Is there an error in here? Oh, these are all commas. Color suite. Takes in a hue. Makes the health, the weak, the medium, the strong. Oh, here, this is the fast way to do this. Take this, we undo, and we go bang. Why this doesn't want to break up beats me. And then I have to default export. Export default, I don't want to call it game values, I want to call it values. I'm not using color suit? Oh. Blue, green, yellow, red, melee range, I need to add a shield, colors, players, and something else I need to add. Constructor, the color. Okay, now I'm gonna pee. Let me turn off my mic so you don't hear it. Alrighty, I'm back. I just peed. Feel good? Excuse me. Double excuse me, Jesus. But I got these colors in. I need to return values out of this. Now if I'm an engine, what is the type of, alright. So that is, you can't find this? Goofy ass motherfucker. Okay. I don't like the vibe of that, so I'm actually gonna do this. The fuck did I just... What the fuck? Wait, why am I not allowed to do that? This is only possible with read only? Okay. Nice. I like that. I like that. Where did that CZ go? I can feel that shit was there. Alright. Color suite, I don't need that here, but I do need colors. And this is just a colors. Fun. So now I need a tick manager. Not even the right syntax. Okay, so now I have to do world. Okay. Alright, let me just do those real quick. Layers of type. What did I have to make this? Map of map of map keys are going to be string. What's the difference between string and string? But then what is string? This ain't even shit. I'm not using entity anymore. Okay. Is there a correct way to do this? No. Okay, so that is right. Okay. So I have to do this for each one. This is where like having some sort of like command to do this would be kind of cool. So let's just quickly replace this with Jack. Now I want to replace this. And then I want to replace this with. Did I copy the whole thing with this? Nope. Nope. Not that. So I have that, and I want to find all these. Replace it with that. Boop, boop, boop. Oh no, it's wrong, because I need to actually take all of this. Cool. So I have these. Those are all the groups. Dynamic monsters. Is monsters used anymore? Targetable, I know. Global drops all, I know. So what else is broken? Player. So uh, let me think, because those are players, and players will get a get state. I wanted to find those as deeper, so like there's a get state, there's a get state which is like a render function, and then there's update which is like update function. So I think I'm gonna have classes that So, damn, I fucking hate classes. This is why I low-key wanted to do the dynamic thing, because you don't even have to think about this shit. But like, so those lists, those maps that I have are so it's like I forget. So it's covariant in the identifier. So you need so you're getting identifiers out of this, right? And the identifiers that you get now only so the fact that it gives you identified only promises that you have an ID on those functions, right? But I need so if so for example, I need the list of players to have certain classes, and I also want those to only have players in it. So if I define players as a parent, can you extend a interface in TypeScript with another interface? Question mark? Oh wow. If I have a list of bees, could I map with a function that takes A's? Question mark. Okay, okay. So that's just obvious object-oriented inheritance that I'm really fucking dumb about. Okay, so after I do this, the next one that I have to type is player. But okay, so let me just continue doing this. So I got this one and this one. Tick manager is done. Now I have to do world. That one, you know, cause world map. Let's go into world. What? Map builder. World. So this is getting the world from the map. It's going to build map. Map builder. Takes in the pits. I don't really care about making that type safe. This is just a function. An engine and a map. Why aren't you... Oh, you're right. I must delete this bitch. Why aren't you working? That's not right. What does that mean? So this one has no problem with doing that for some reason. Um, don't know why. Because it's taking this regular, but in this case it's confused because it's calling engine.js, and that does not exist. Oh, quick fix. Ah, I did it. Okay. Export default world. So now if I go back into, don't need you. Let's move this over here. Map is a map is a world. Map is world. Jesus fucking God. Hits is an any array. Engine is a engine. So I'm getting engine from here, so let's steal that. Start point is number. I need to resolve all the any's in this. Current pit. This is also any. But why not? This being any doesn't matter because it knows it's any. Where am I? So this doesn't matter that it's any because it should infer it. This intersection points is uh it's an any. It's a any. Wait. Current pit that get intersection. This is just an any array for now. Just to resolve all these fucking path X, path Y. This is a number array. It's also a number array. No, number. Uh, uh, uh. Point is two numbers, and radius is a single number. Point is also a number. Okay, so now world. I'm cool with that. I have an error here because I did a CZS monster. So now there should be no error here. Okay, cool. Where am I? World. So this one I didn't really care about. I have an issue with player. I'm gonna convert that after. I need to make a new interface, and that interface extends identifiable. Maybe I call it player, which means I have all the player data, all the type information for player, because I feel like you want it to be like the highest one. I mean, like in general, you really shouldn't have inheritance like this. I feel like I'm doing inheritance like this because I'm bad. I don't understand better. But I mean, I think it's chill for now. Dynamic. So maybe I make a class called dynamic. So here I've identified. So player itself will extend identified, so that's whatever. But I also want to make a dynamic, which is an identified, but it has so a dynamic. So I'm gonna define a class called or interface called dynamic, and this dynamic class is gonna have an update function that returns void. So that's dynamic. Okay. Dynamic. Let's export dynamic. I wonder if this counts. Is that even how you spell dynamic? Okay, cool. The dynamic is correct. So if I go into player, damn, TypeScript is being fucking whack. And I look at, I think this should just be called a get state. This should be called renderable. Would there be any issues? Oh wait, no, this should be. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay, coolio. So this shit can just suce my beat. That means suck my dick in French. Um, get state dynamic rendered. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. So I'm also gonna get rendered and global. It's gonna be called rendered. These ones are special. That seems right. Or is it OBJ? Okay. So what's your issue here, buddy? So we know globals are rendered, so it has that render function. Oh, that's why. Uh, 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 that's nothing to do with what I want. Okay, so that's because of player. What's left? So det delta. Okay, okay, cool. This one has to be a string, of course. Let player, and this is going to be type. Well, okay, so now I'm going to go on to the player. Uh, uh, uh. Okay, so one thing that I'm already worried about is this thing that I have, which is like some really crazy JavaScript, like dynamic stuff that is bad. But I want to get type information for this. But So this is what I'm gonna do. Default export export. Ugh, this isn't working how I want it to. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna do this first. Speed is a number. Direction is also a number. Speed, which is a number. Current, which is a number. Desire, which is a number. These are all numbers. Cool, valid TypeScript. Gosh, it's gonna be a while. It's a lot of work to get this shit right. Kind of kind of a pity. It's probably good for my coding speed. This is current, which is also a number, and then max, which is a number, and then original max is a number, region is a number, and multipliers. What's wrong with this, huh? I saved this shit. Oh my. Okay. This is a number. This is a number. This is a string. This is a string. So the multiplier thing is how I'm doing like. So basically, the way I want to do resistance is that it doesn't actually. So say you get like bonus resistance, right? What I want to do is instead of having to multiply the amount of damage you receive, I want there to be like an effect on your health where when you take damage so like for example if you take like weakness or something like that or strength in terms of your health, it will multiply your max and your current by a certain amount. So your percentage doesn't change by getting this resistance, but your effective like damage taken and increases or decreases based on the multiplier. So like, if you had a half multiplier, you'd actually be half as strong. You'd take half as much damage and you die, and then you couldn't heal. You would heal faster. All these different things where it's like you're more squishy, whereas like you're more tanky, but you heal slower. Um, and that there's like different sweet spots for this. That you as a player will like, okay, I want to have a high health multiplier for this one thing because it scales on health number, whereas like this heals percent health or something like that. So it looks like health is done. Path. Oh yeah, this is definitely used a lot. So path, let's rename this to TS Tiesto. Engine. Position is number by number. Movement speed is a path region. What do I need the path region for? Literally just dot get path, which takes in 2 points. So if I'm not mistaken, I think world has a get path. So yeah, let me just do that. New file, let's call this pathable. Name for something which gives you a path. Navigator. pathfinder.ts. This is literally just gonna give me an interface called Pathfinder, and this interface is just gonna have a function called get path, which so you're gonna have a get path function which takes as input um, two numbers. So in world, the get path has a start and end point, and it returns. Holy shit! What's the type of your return? Oh, it returns any. Yikes! That's not good. Okay, so I need this to have a path X and a path Y, which is just lists of numbers. So interface, call this path. Let's call this class path. There's a fruit fly in my room and I can't kill it. So path is gonna have a X, which is a number, and it's gonna have a Y, which is a number. Damn, so I'm naming two things path, and it's kind of like frustrating. Path. These are gonna be number, number. And this is also gonna be number. And I'm gonna set this dot x equals to path x, and this dot y equal to path y. Format, and so get path is gonna take in start point, which is gonna be of number, number, and the end point, which is gonna be number, number, and it's gonna return a path info. All right. Then export. Interface in a class. Pathfinder. Okay, cool. Alright, awesome. Like how this, bruh. Why does this have to be here twice? Like, why can't they just infer? And then path Y, also a number list. And then is moving is a boolean. Boolean. It's lowercase boolean. Huh. Okay. Well, cool. Okay, let's. So before path can be done, we need to do this one because this depends on position. And then start x is a number. Then we have start x number, start y is a number, x is a number, y is a number. So, oh my gosh, I hate that it does the freaking CZ, bruh. Yeah, but this position isn't actually a position, it's a position big. So then now this is wrong because this also has to reflect that. So here's alright, get path. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. All right, what's left? Type path x dot shift. Uh, Wait, how was I not facing a problem with this? So set it to that one and shift it over. So this clearly can't happen unless path length. So it would never. How do I assert? What the F? Okay, cool. I'll just do that. And then I'm gonna write a comment. Semi all gooch. Let's rename this one TS. Get inside of this. Awesome. This one's a pretty chill one. So shield fudge. This one's a huge one. Let's rename this. Imagine if I clicked yes by accident. Okay, so what do we have to do here? The stack and the order? Holy shit. This is so dynamic. Okay, so I feel like something here isn't right. So, reset, amount, add a shield. Mm, structure and convert to TypeScript. Okay, well in that case, I have to just convert this to TypeScript. Woohoo. I don't like exporting it like that. Something seems weirdly short about this. Oh, it's actually longer. Funny. Okay. Field. So let me just add another. I'm just gonna keep on adding interfaces like this. So like targeted equals extend identified. And targeted, if it's targeted, then you need need a position of type position. If you're targeted, you need to have a position. And a dot radius. And then I also need a radius. I feel like this is so wrong already, but I so you just don't want to. What's different between this one? I guess it's because I'm not importing. I really don't like the whole able thing. Kind of sounds stupid. I know that it's like what you call an object that you define the category of it based on the function that it has, but nah. So I'm spitting out targeted, and I think an engine target, targetable should be targeted. I kind of do. I want like. Here's the thing, right? The way that we're adding entities to the groups is through this new entity manager, which manages the entities of the group, right? But damn, I really don't. The thing is, it's like for you to get the proper type information, you have to basically. So if I want to get type information of these objects from the entity construction, so let me go to player, because this is what I'm thinking about. When I add all these things in this, these have like because you see this works in the dynamic setting very well, but when you do want to get type information, I can't get any type information here. For example, if I want, I could make individual functions for each one of these. Hmm. This is a tough one. Let me. So YouTube is recommending a bitrate of 6,800. So let me just do that. Video bitrate 6,800. Apply. So I don't know if that changed any. Oh, whoa, it might have changed something. But so where we were at earlier is before I got distracted was that entity here, this whole way of managing an entity and its scope is a little bit convoluted in certain ways. So for example, the way I've designed it is let me open up Paint. So here's something, right? So we have this bucket that we're calling all. And all how it works is when you're building these objects, right? We're always once we've built it, we're gonna throw it into all. But the reason why we're doing this is that we want entities to be able to exist independently of some sort of like variable reference. So in garbage collected languages, right? If I were to do new, so here if I were to be like um const balls equals new balls, right? This ball is a reference to this object that I just created new. I just allocated new memory for this ball. That if I were to then do this, and ball isn't referenced somewhere else, it'll just disappear and it wouldn't do any systematic changes to the game. So what we do instead is we want our objects to be able to manage their own lifetimes within the garbage collector. So we throw it onto all, and in the moment that this object wants to die, we call dot remove. And what dot remove does is it takes this object that we had and it just straight up deletes it from here, right? But that's not it, right? The real thing about the groups is that there's more than one group. So there's gonna be like, you know, this group and this group and this group. And if this is in all of these, we need to remove these two, okay? So that's what's happening here. When we create a new entity, we're adding it to all these groups, but one thing about these groups is that they have some special type information, and that special type information we can leverage to get information outside here to know what type of things that player needs to extend. So I think, I'm thinking, right? So maybe I need to make another class called an entity builder, and that's kind of I think, okay, so thinking back to when I was refactoring and I removed that one class which was called entity manager, which just added these groups to the engine, I think I'm gonna re-add that and have it so that it contains methods for building an object within the engine such that you get the type informations. One reason why I don't want to have a ton of things in here which are like add this, add that, like like add player, add, um, all these things is that I'd rather have it consolidated into a group in a function or a class, which basically which basically consolidates this. So maybe entity does work, but I need to add more functions in entity actually. That's what I need to change. Okay. So this entity takes in an entity, a this, and a group, but instead what I want to return is just an entity and this into the entity function. So let's go into entity. I want entity to only take in an entity and the engine. Is that completely wrong to what my engine wants to do? No. So it does, okay. So it wants to take in an entity and an engine and a list of groups. But instead, I think the groups work. I think the dynamic, yeah. Okay. Okay. So we need functions for each type of thingy-mabob. So this is just going to be a huge function, right? So groups, entity ID, set the ID, add groups. So add groups. Okay. This is going to be a long refactoring. And I'm an hour 30 in. I'm probably going to do this for 30 more minutes and stop and then pick this up in the next stream. But I just want to say that now so I know that I'm going to do that. So, let's see. Current time is 12. I have to get lunch. Okay. So, I feel like I'm going to keep the whole ad group thing and have other things which are more correct. So what changed here? That changed. So let's go back here. I want to get this type info. Let's drag this mother out all the way over here. So we have the engine over here with all of the classes. So let me just make player correct so I can get this type info. Is this already? Oh, ID has to be string, and that calms that down. Okay. And all of these should be chill now because mm, what is a type of WebSocket? Type of HTT. Wait, so on connection and then CB and this parentheses lines up with this parentheses, which is the type. Alright, I want to know what type this shit is. WS WebSocket. You're lying. Can I cast this to a string? Is that how casting works? I don't know what to do about this. Because when you get from a map, you may not. So I'm gonna say undead player equals this. If undead player dot rejoin. So I don't like how I have to now do this. It's still okay. I can't do it that way because I need to have the type system know. So player. So then player. Otherwise, I don't do anything. This shit just closes. Okay. Damn, what was I even doing before this? Oh, the entity group thing. So I guess I'm gonna open this up. Whoa. I'm gonna open this up again. I'm gonna say for each player, I'm gonna see. Okay, so players, targetable, and dynamic. I'm stuck. Cause for me to actually get the type system, I need to put here that the this is has to be player. The contention that I have with that is I like the idea of just being able to have the entity and just doing dot is player, dot is targetable, dot is dynamic. It's kind of like a cleaner. cleaner perspective I have on it, but this is the difficulty, right? You don't get the type information that way. The type error is kind of like behind the scenes because this identity doesn't make any statement about the type. All it says is it's identified. So when I do end up trying to, I have to assert that it is that type, which I think is wrong. But I still don't really know how I would do it otherwise. For example, I'm kind of thinking I might pass in this. Makes the removing easier because you keep track of all the lists that you're in, and it keeps track of all for you. But the type information is really huge because I want to be able to add them without it being dynamic. That could just be a group where I pass in the ID. Um, the make new entity function adds it to all by default, and in all. What's stored in all is the list of all groups that it's in that it then removes. And then you have functions that add it to those groups in the engine. And then when you do engine.remove for that entity, so I guess I will have a entity manager that has I have them all on there and I can make functions for each one. It would make engine longer. Doesn't really seem that big of a problem. I'm stuck. Oh, hi Zero. What you doing here, little guy? Oh, whoa, big guy. You big guy, you got poop on your butt. Go clean that. Like, do you not smell the poop on your butt? Is that why you're not cleaning it? Hmm? Old guy. You stink. Wow, this guy really stinks. I walked in, I said, wow, he really stinks. I wish I can do a good Donald Trump impression. I watched there's this guy, he does like TikToks, but he sells light fixtures and like logos and like store signs on TikTok and Instagram Reels. But his gimmick is that he's really good at impressions, or I guess he's really good at the English accent thing, where he's good at learning different English accents, and I think it helps him like really localize his reach. So like even though he has like global reach in like English speaking areas, like he'll make a video with like a British accent and that'll get popular in Britain because people are like, oh, look at this Chinese man speaking in a British accent. And then like same thing would happen in Australia. He do an Australian accent, and then he'll do different accents from America. So he'll do like a West Coast accent, an East Coast accent, Southern accent. Well, then this one I recently watched, he did a Donald Trump accent, and it was so funny. Just like he did the whole like point where you point and you take your hands away, and your hands are like, ah, surprised. He did that, and he was also like, wow, that's a. I said, wow, that's a bright sign. Some shit like that. It was so funny. I hope you see it at some point. Yeah. So yeah, I might stop for now just to take a mental break, but what I will be doing in the next stream is I'm going to change the engine such that it manages. Here's the thing, I don't know if I do want to have an entity manager that you can constantly do dot all. So I think it's like I want to have like a thing where it's like register, like register entity. Is there a way to have an interface that I don't want to do that actually? It's a little bit complicated. Or is it not? Let's see. A, a interface with one value. Is there a way to set that value so it is the same for all that implement it? Uh, TS. Oh, okay, I'm gonna do that. I really like that. Maybe that's a smell. I'm a stinky guy. Take manager event. No, I want entity. And instead of ID, I'm gonna do read only ID string equals UUID. Oh, I might eat McDonald's. I'm feeling a little. Fuck. That'd be cool if I could do this. And I don't think I want to do this with uh yeah, I don't really want to do all that. I mean like I don't think I can, first of all. Zero. Come here. That's the name. I'm like, oh, whoa, you just got so scared of me for a second. Do you want to go outside? Maybe I play games on stream if you're watching this from the future. Maybe I do that. So do you want to go outside? Go outside. Go. Go. Bye. He'll sometimes get confused at the door because he's like, I mean, I understand it too. I am a finite being and I don't know what I want, but it's like it's one of those things where I'm watching and I'm like, damn, it's crazy how I know what he wants more than he knows what he wants. So I guess back to what I was talking about is I'll just have these functions like for entity for engine or if this is for entity. For engine I'm gonna have a function which is like register entity. Can you extend multiple classes in TypeScript? This is probably a huge no. Yeah. So register entity, we're gonna take in an entity, and this is gonna be of type uh type identified. And when I register the entity, I'm gonna do the thingy that I wanted to do, which is entity.id, and then I'll have to import UUID. I'm gonna see if there's a way for me to clean this up. Maybe this might add too much code into the engine, and I'll probably refactor this to make it like some sort of something that handles something. I don't really know, but register entity identified. Um, this dot all dot set, and I don't want this. I actually want these to be a string, right? Is that the way that you note that? Is that a list of string? No, 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 no. It's a singleton string. String singleton. Set entity dot ID with an empty array. And then okay, and this is where I'm gonna put this guy here so I can see what I need. Dot get player dot ID. No. Do I start calling shit maybe the way it's supposed to be, or do I do it the way that TypeScript thinks it should be? Because this outputting straight a type or undefined isn't like some special thing. Or it isn't some like thing, it's a special thing. It's a maybe. So I might just call this maybe 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 groups if maybe groups maybe group dot push player is doing a dot remove on a map expensive in JavaScript. Okay, so I don't even need to do all that. I don't even need to store the lists. I'm literally just gonna do when I dot remove them from all. Maybe it's inefficient, but I think it's gonna be the most fun to work with. So this one has to be identified now. So I have register player. All right, after I finish this thing, I'm gonna be done for today. And then I keep on adding this. Targeted dynamic. This entity. So now I guess I have to have two functions called remove entity and this is going to be identified and except for all. Let's call this remove groups. Let's call this remove entity. Fuck. Wait, so 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. No. Haha. Player graveyard. Dynamic. Global. 1, 2, 3. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Global monsters. Global targetable drops. If this dot current pit, this dot current pit remove WebSocket, this should be a WebSocket. WebSock. This dot entity. Why is this shaped like this? Oh, because I did it twice. Remove the groups and then add these ones. Alright, I'm gonna take a break now. Thanks for watching. Peace.